Hello, hello, and welcome to another podcast, A Simplistic Word with Elder Dwight Kenneth Kirk. On today, everybody, I want to discuss a few things. I'm going to go over just a few things. I won't be long. Just some things for us to begin to talk about, to begin to give some consideration to, and also some things just to keep on our minds and some things we need to change. Um, First thing I wanted to talk about is was this situation that we really don't talk much about. We don't say anything. Um, we just let it go. And when there is, let's say, when there is a Caucasian that does something to a black person, then there's this big hoopla. But we do not talk about how we knock each other down. We don't talk about, there's no discussion of the second, and I'll say this because, I'm a black person. The second that a black person tries to make a move, what happens? Another black person is there to knock it down, to do a full on, let's say, social media assault on their character. You understand? And then there's nothing said. That needs to stop. When I was doing my podcast a couple of years ago, well, I've been doing it for since 2014, but I said something because at the time of the cop killings and things like that, when it was really more rampant, more than it is now. They done a few, two in Texas. Um, when it was I can't remember the guy's name, but you will hear me say Dr. Umar a few times here. And when I don't know what happened or what was said between Dr. Umar and this he's a doctor. Uh, I, I, um, I can't remember his name, but he I didn't know anything about it until I was looking at one of his podcasts, and he has some things to say. My problem was always, if you want to talk to me, let's talk on the phone or come meet with me. But we got so into this fake facade of I need to speak my mind on social media. I want to talk about this situation. No, it's between you and I. It's not between you and them or me and them. It was between them two. So I said at the time, if you need to speak, y'all need to meet. We Dr. Khalid said something. It was overseas, and he said everybody can't come to the meeting because if everybody goes to the meeting, some of y'all gonna go out and tell what we were talking about in the meeting, and that's the problem we're having now. I so want to believe in unity. Like I said, I so want to, but the problem is with all the social media, all this love and hip hop, and all of this fake stuff that we have going on right now. Who you gonna trust? You ain't gonna trust nobody. The reason you're not going to trust anybody because guess what? What were they? What's the music they're listening to? Just a question. When we have beef with each other, we need to stop the social media stuff and go person to person. All of this was this the king or the queen of clapback. I gotta clap back. I gotta run my mouth. I gotta defend myself and stay say stuff. Come on, man. That's not adults. That's little children running around, doing dumb stuff. And please let me say this and put this on the record. Um, when what was it? Roland Martin had Dr. Umar on TV, and I guess he did his best to discredit everything that Dr. Umar was saying. Uh, He did his thing, cut him off, said his little fast talking and everything. And then what happened with him after he did, what the establishment wanted him to do? They canceled his show, right? As soon as he did that, now a little bit later, they said, "Oh, we good with you. You done did what we wanted to now, son. So get on out the way." Then, then what? They went after they went after uh, his license. Why is it? Why is it that when you why is it that when you give information, and this is, I'm just saying, if you're giving good information, and this information that's being given can be researched and found out to be true, why is there a problem with what they're doing? When that man spoke, he gave information, whether you agree with it or not. But a good piece of the time, he was giving good information with the statistics that went through that was correct with the information he was giving. But right now, that's all you hear. They talking what his house, look bad and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm not. I, that's neither here nor there. It kills me because when y'all saw that he, everything was knocked down. Now you still supposed to be on top. That was the messed up part. It wasn't that the system came after him first. They took another black person to do it in front of the world, and now we're still sitting here acting like he's supposed to be on top, and he's starting from the bottom, trying to get back up. See, that's what I was saying to y'all before when I said everybody's around here rejoicing with all the old black female police chief, uh, lawyers, and hey, black lawyers, black cops, everybody. Oh yeah, okay. What? Whose laws are they enforcing? Come on. We think when they get in that position that they will have compassion and try to say, okay, well, let me work something out. No, that's not why they're in that office. Now, please play this, for any, cops or politicians, black politicians. I don't trust any of them, black, white, Hispanic, whatever. You cannot tell me that somebody's a politician and they're just good people. That don't mix. Politics is dirty. They lie. You didn't look at that show with what's her name on it? That was more real than anything. They always doing dumb stuff like that. They got to take something out. They got to do a little dirt over here, a little dirt over there, to make sure that this is done or that's done. We sitting here now, look at this dumb stuff. They did a little commercial. Oh, we want Donald Trump to denounce it, and that does what? Do you understand how stupid people are now? I don't care what he says. But we really need him to strongly, and I tell you, they feed it to you because you look at it and then you say, yeah, he should denounce it. I can denounce anything. That don't change nothing. We are, I continue to say this, and I'm not going to change it. Voting does not change anything. And y'all are getting ready to put on your little stickers. I voted today. And you're going to get the same thing that you've been getting. I it just busts me up, man. I'm telling you. It, it's like this. How can I explain it? It's like there's a solution to it, but all you got to do is open the door to twist the knob to open it, but you just can't do it. It's like the horror movies. Now, with the horror movie, the commercial. Let's get into the running car. Are you crazy? Let's go over here with the chainsaws. It's the same thing. It's so easy to just say, okay, guess what, man? And all reality, voting don't, man. It really don't work. So what we gonna do? No, like they said, everybody's scared of the backlash. I don't know if we don't do it, they're gonna. Whether you do it or not, they're still going to do what they've been doing. They have the electoral college, even though everybody voted right. But guess what? Let me. How you said? Let me digress because there's always a rebuttal. The reason why everybody we don't move forward because the second we move forward, there's a rebuttal. You can rebuttal me till the cows come home. I have not lied yet, and all you got to do is look at their records and their history. That's all you have to do, and you will find out that Bernie Sanders, just because he marched means nothing. Biden just because meant nothing, nothing, because it didn't change anything. Now I know what you're saying. Well, when we look at all of the things and how long they have been in office and stuff like that, okay. KRS-One said it best. Nobody's trying to solve the problem. They put a band-aid on it. That person is there to lie to you, to tell you, oh yeah, when I get in here, when I want to be in the government, say these dumb Republicans, all of them idiots, from Biden to Sanders to Kamala to all of them, Beto, whoever, however, whatever. They lie to you because they say, when I get in there, I want to do this for the American people. Have you not seen yet anybody that wants to do stuff for the American people does not get in that office? Anybody that says, I want to improve life for American people and, give them the assistance that they need, they don't get in there? Bernie been saying that for the past so many years. Guess what? Bernie don't get in there. Now he done had a heart attack. It's over. You have Biden. Biden is about infrastructure the way Hillary was. Hillary said it right out her mouth. She said it's very idealistic to say that we come up and hand the money, but she said that's not reality. I'm concerned with infrastructure, and y'all still want to vote? You still want to sit here when it comes to anything to get the idiot of the United States out of office? Man, the worst part about it there, the terrible job he's doing, these idiots still making him look smart. And as you go back to my podcast, when this idiot jumped in, and way before we to where we are now, I told you all that when it's time to get him out of office, they're going to present you with idiots, and those idiots are going to make this idiot look smart, and that's what happened. The, right now, believe it or not, even though with this mess with Syria, he's still in the lead. Hey, if I'm lying, I'm flying. And I know what y'all said. I said we're gonna talk about a few things, so I move around a lot. So that's how I do. But but you understand what I'm saying? We are not. It's things that we don't question. They say it to us right in our faces. They tell us right to our faces. You really not gonna do nothing about it anyway. So move on. When we talked a little bit ago about what the Republicans did, they did the little sneak move and did their little thing, and everybody was yelling. Republican dude said, "Oh, let's grow up and get past this. I'm going to do it again and again and again anyway." Now I added that on, but that's what the real reality is. We're going to keep doing this. So stop raising your voice. Don't get upset. One of the idiots, like I said, they are idiots. I took a lie detector test. Why you take a lie detector test? That Republican guy said, "I'm not taking it." Man, let's go on. Let's move on. Guess what? We moved on, and we're still believing. Why? Because we going to the NAACP meetings, and they're telling us that voting works. Please, by all means, I would love to go to a meeting, and we can have it. Because remember, I'm from the Reaganomics now. You better have your facts together. And you're not going to get me with no statistics, because statistics, believe it or not, are true. But we're going to go through what are we looking like around here. And that's when you're going to sit down and shut up. We are not, we are doing the same thing over and over and over again, and we're expecting different results. How is that? Do the same thing over and over, get a different, person in there, same results. Get a different person in there, same results. Well, they did this, well, they did that, and that benefited nothing. So what they did something, you didn't benefit from it. Well, Elder Kirk, why is it that I'm supposed to benefit from it? Isn't that why you voted them in there? You voted them in there so they can, take care of the rich and not do anything for you. Ah, my fault. Sometimes, I just, I'll just be thinking about what really should be, and what's really happening and what we're used to, and what we're used to is what they're doing there. So everybody's ready. We're going to get Trump out of there, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. Come on, man. He's not going to be impeached. We want him to be impeached. He's not going to be impeached because if he do, we got the idiot. Who I call him? We got Roscoe Pico train Pence sitting in there. You really want Roscoe Pico train to take over? He's just as dumb as the other one. Everybody, please. I'm moving way off where I started. Please don't sit here and think that November 20th is and this is always what they sell you. This is such an important election, and so much is riding on the line, and y'all buy it. So you get out here, and if something does happen, I wouldn't be surprised if the Electoral College come and do it again. Oh, we heard he lost. Oh, wait a minute. The Electoral College had a meeting. Trump went again. So I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna leave that alone. Just for you to think about. You're not gonna keep doing the same exact thing over and over again and get better results. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna happen. So I don't believe in politics and all that other stuff. So, if you say I'm part of the problem, go ahead and fix it. You got enough people to fix it. So go ahead and fix it. All right. One more thing before I go. Something I wanted to, discuss. My wife and I were talking about this a little earlier, and it's something that people do not discuss, or we're so brainwashed in the church that when it comes to, let's say, when it comes to the Bible, right? And you may ask a question, or you may have a few questions. What the pastor gonna tell you? Well, I'm gonna tell you what the Bible said. That's the first thing I'm gonna tell you. Now, the crazy thing about telling you what the Bible said is they're not giving you a history of what happened to the point to where we're saying what the Bible said. So what happens is, what happens now? These people are like, you know what? I don't want to mess with y'all no more. You're not really explaining anything. The only thing you're doing is preaching to me. I could tell you what the scriptures say all day long, but like what I say before. I used the craziest analogy, but I said, well, what the scriptures say about a hermaphrodite? Not a word. You understand what I'm saying? There are things that happen. There's a reason why. You understand what I'm saying? That there are questions asked. There are reasons why people go through the things that they go through. And the only thing the pastor's going to tell you, I'm going to give you the scripture. That's not reality. They can tell you a story. That's why Elder Kirk talks about the brainwash. There are people, that's why you hear people always say, Pastor said, but they're not going to tell you what Jesus said. The pastor tell you all day long. Well, I'm going to tell you, turn your Bibles to. I shared a post today. It said, the child said, well, and I talked about this. The child asked the father and said, I thought we weren't supposed to, be lying and stealing and doing bad stuff and stuff like that. So then, why are we supporting President Trump? And the father said, son, we just preach that. We don't really live it. Which is true. It's true. I mean, how can we sit here and a con man, a thief, just no good, just, I guess, a businessman, really, not no, smart guy or anything like that, just, know what to do with money. And we're sitting here, people that have believed and go to church support this guy. Why? The scriptures say, be obedient to the king. That's what see, y'all don't know because y'all don't study. The scriptures say be obedient to the king. Obey the king. My fault. Obey the king. Same thing. Obey the king. So we sitting here now. Guess who the king is? Oh, idiot of the United States. So see, y'all, once you start to research and find out why, you understand what I'm saying? You'll start digging. I don't care how much Holy Ghost is, Holy Spirit and Jesus and all this stuff. They are supporting this guy out of loyalty. But guess what happens? Church and state was supposed to be separate. Church and state was supposed, like I said, listen to me, were supposed to be, but now they're one. Why? Because of the 501c3. With the 501c3, they are government churches, and then there's certain things that they're not going to be able to talk about in that Bible. See, that's why you hear people say, and you've seen it on my posts, that's why they say that you cannot sit here and just say, the scriptures, the scriptures you can't say that the scriptures are the only thing, that matters, because these pastors are not going by. They don't do anything like, because remember what they say, we're not supposed to be a part of the world, but we are of the world. But all of these big high dollar pastors love them some idiot of the United States and very loyal to them. And then tell their people, you need to, God showed me that this man is our Savior. This is my life y'all playing with. I'm punching somebody in the mouth. Man, stop playing around with me. Stop sitting here in one breath. And then you want to know why we having these mental situations? You sitting here telling me God and Jesus are going to fix this, but then, hey, be loyal to this crook. You have to draw a line in the sand that says, you know what, man? Okay, I'm going to believe, Jesus died on the cross for my sins. I'm going to believe in God. But you know what? Get this church stuff out of here. And where they get us at, mama, you got to go to church. Because if you don't go to church, you can't be with God's people. God don't want to be with you. And the worst part about that, you know what? That ain't true. That is nowhere in that Bible that you hold on to. Nowhere in there. Nowhere. But guess what? Guess what? Once you begin to study, once you start saying, okay, God, this mess that these people done taught me in here to make sure things is good for them. Because that's all that your hard work does. Your hard work makes the pastor look good. You in leadership, or you're a faithful member, guess what? That makes pastor look good. My wife and I were talking about this, the other day, and I said, okay, you're telling me to pay my tithes, because my tithes go to God. No, when I pay my tithes, you go put it in the bank, and then you make a decision of whether to pay the bills or help a family, and you do what you're gonna do with the money. God don't see none of that money. That's just the reality of it. Please accept my offense. We have to begin to, if the Bible is what we're going to believe in, guess what, man? Will you start studying it, please? Start studying it and stop listening to what this mess these pastors got y'all jumping around here. I have seen so many passages that I see that just enforces the brainwash, especially now that everything here is North Carolina and a lot of other, majority of the churches now, prosperity ministries. They're all about money. They're all about money. And I know what you're saying. Well, this is my small church. Your small church puts money into all of it. The government, do you know how much money all of these churches that are sitting on these corners like liquor stores bring in? On every corner is what? A church. Just like a liquor store. And guess what happens? They bring in money. And that money has to be accounted for. Do you ever think? Because, me being in a church at one time, I know they said that money that they probably changed this now because, the United States are the original crooks, so they know how to, break the law and make sure you don't break the law. Once you do what they do, they'll change the rules on you. But when I was, in leadership, and like they had a thing where you put the money in the envelope, that had to be reported. But if you put money just out, you understand what I'm saying? If you just put that money out loose, whatever can be done with it. Yeah. Put the money in the envelope, it has to be recorded. But if you put that money in the plate just out loose and just dangling, you don't have to So you mean to tell me out of all these years, you have 100 members, and all them 100 members had to do was bring $1 in and put it in the plate that didn't have no money in it, just $1, and then all the other stuff that you want to do, the 10%, whatever the case may be. You mean we would be in a much better position? Kids wouldn't be hungry. We would have homes. Questions we don't ask. We just put on our Sunday best and get ready to shout it down. Have us a nice service, because remember now, we know the order of service better than we know God. So everybody, I'm just going to leave that with y'all to think about, to give consideration, to have discussion, because believe me or not, a lot of people are scared of church. And I'm gonna tell you what God told me when I used to operate to make sure I wasn't getting in trouble with the pastor all the time. God was like, you should have more fear of me than you have fear of them, because they can't do nothing to you or for you. And I never got that until much later, because I was already brainwashed and I thought that God only worked through them. Without them, I couldn't have God. That's why you're going to church. So everybody, thank you for joining Elder Kirk on today. And please, I am always available for, yay or nay. Um, I told you from 1980 to 2014. So when we talk, please, I'm going to give you facts. I'm going to say, everything that needs to be said to make sure that you understand clearly that the church is a cult. I'm not going to, the Bible is very good on morals. Now, I know you may say, wait a minute now, there are some things, like my wife and I were discussing, there are some things that is made to keep you, in bondage. But there's a history of the Bible that you need to study to understand why that is. So, everybody, just thank you for joining me on today. And for any questions, any comments, I am definitely open. And I said this a while ago, and I always say this to any pastor: you will not hold me just to the scriptures. For this big universe that we're living in, the things that are, that the Bible don't cover, you're not going to just sit here and tell me that everything in every aspect in every life is just Bible. You can't do that. That's cult. That's cult living. If you've been here for 50 or 60 years and all you know that God is just in the Bible and that's it, you are just so closed-minded. So, any comments? I love to hear them. Love to hear them. So everybody, thank you for joining me, and please enjoy the rest of your week.
Once upon a time, I wasn't enough for me, 'cause I needed you to come and show your love to me. And I apologize if I sound sad. I was waiting on the call from my dad, and it never came. It never came. I went through years and years of hurt, and years of pain, and I finally got the call from my dad. He said, "Where have you been? I fight for you daily in your dreams. The time that we spend cast away, you stay." Then he said, "I asked myself, why would you live without me? In the back of my mind, what would make you up and doubt me? Was it how I looked? Was it something I said? What would make you leave my world? All these thoughts in my head. Insecurities became a part of thee. A little boy so scorned because daddy's heart is free. How I love so much without returning me. This love I have is pure, couldn't be free from me. So where have you been? I fight for you daily in your dreams. The time that we spend cast away, I'll stay lost without you. Yeah, yeah. I got peace, I got joy, I got a someone in you. Yeah, and I know you're gonna work some things out for my good. Yeah, yeah. And I think about the things I had, and I get glad, 'cause I accepted the call from my dad.